Ron here with Gung Ho Golf. I thought I would give you a quick deep dive here into E6 Connect graphics quality. Some people seem to knock on the quality of the graphics in E6 Connect, especially compared to TGC 2019, and I don't know, I think they may be overlooking a few things. Certainly there are differences between the platforms, but I think the graphics are pretty darn good, and I want to just show you a example here. So I'm going to pull up Harbour Town at Hilton Head, very pretty tee area, and just sort of show you around there. So here we are on the first tee, and right off the bat, just kind of notice how the trees and foliage are quite varied and moving nicely in the wind. There's no real movement artifacts to speak of. Sometimes you get funny little artifacts in TGC 19 which don't quite look real. And I think they've done a really good job with the movement of the leaves and the foliage here. And I'll show you some more examples here soon. We've got our mini map on the right here. I can click to move that aiming pole anywhere you like on the fairway. Let's just do a quick flyby. We've got a drone icon down here. We'll do a flyby on the hole. And I'm running right now a frame rate of 72 here on my laptop. Very, very smooth. You can see quite a variety of trees and foliage, and the designers at TruGolf do a really good job with trying to match the course exactly, and they're not limited to a certain catalog of objects. For example, if I do that flyby again, watch the house architecture on the left there. Those are made to actually match the homes along the course, and with TGC 19 you can't do that because you're limited to whatever buildings are in the designer. To my knowledge, you can't introduce new 3D architecture objects in the TGC designer. So let's have a look around just in a circle here. I'll just pop the aiming pole to the left here to pan us over. Some people knock the water quality in E6 Connect. I think it's pretty darn good. That looks quite realistic there to me on the shore. Again, we got apartment buildings here. As we keep turning around, we'll see the clubhouse. The flowers and bushes are certainly more colorful in E6 Connect than what you typically see in TGC courses. And just as a whole, every course is quite a bit different looking in E6 Connect. TGC 19, since they all use the same catalog of bushes and trees and architecture, they can tend to look a little more similar. Clubhouse here, certainly the detail could be better, and they are always improving it. You know, these columns are fairly flat looking, but they've got a nice little clock here on the little corner clock tower. The sunlight coming over here. Let's see if changing the atmosphere changes the detail. Oh, there you go. So one of the cool things on E6 Connect, as you're in a round, you can toggle between different sun positions and levels of cloudiness. So that brings the detail out in the clubhouse, certainly when the sun is at that angle. This is a very low sun, and that's why we're not seeing the detail. So that's pretty cool. So you can kind of toggle it to whatever level you like. I kind of like playing with the dramatic angles, and I toggle back through. I think there's about 6 different levels. I like the warm light of sunset, and this is, I think, the mostly cloudy sunset, but it gives a very dramatic look to the course with the low sun angle. Get a lot of clouds that darkens the sky, and that's pretty cool. But going back and just lining up on the tee box again here, let me show you some tweaks you can make in the game to change the graphics if they're not to your liking. So just with the escape key, or you don't want to use the cancel. If you don't want to use the escape key, you just hit the E6 box here and it brings up your menu. So in the game, you can key in your little pin for the admin, go to System Config, to Video, and here you can see I've got it set the same as my monitor on 1080 HD quality. You can go up to 4K and 8K if you have the monitor support it, or the projector. So I'm sticking there, and we can adjust the color, and this is one of the coolest things. It's sort of like a reshade built into the game. What this color adjustment does is cranks the contrast. So at the very lowest setting, off basically, the image is sort of HDR quality, meaning it has a high dynamic range, so you see a lot of detail in the shadows, a lot of detail in the highlights. As we crank this, both the contrast and the saturation of the image go up, and you can see it gets pretty surreal if you get it cranked all the way, which is not that good, but it's cool that you have this adjustment in the game. So where this can help is certain projectors, certain impact screens have different levels of contrast, and if you're not getting the blacks you want to see, you can certainly crank up the blacks and crank up the contrast. On my projector and screen, I like this tweaked up just a little bit to about 0.08 or 0.9. I think that gives me the best realism. Now this toggle to enable effects anti-aliasing, this is going to smooth out the fine detail in the foliage. So watch the foliage as I turn this off. Now you can see, especially looking at these bushes here, the edges are a lot sharper and a lot more contrast to the edges. I tend not to like that look. It looks a little artificial to me. So enabling this anti-aliasing, which just takes the sharp edge off by slightly blurring the edges and lowering the contrast, there, it's slightly softer, slightly more realistic looking in my opinion. And this is a pretty high level of realism with these trees, the way they're moving in the bushes. So we'll go with those settings, resume the round. Let's go into practice mode here, because this way we can kind of move the ball around and see where else we could place this ball to check out some detail. Let's say we topped our drive over here in the bushes. So there's our ball. Yeah, we'll stick with that for a minute. Just take a look at the detail in these bushes. If I pan over here, this is insanely good. This could fool somebody that what you're looking at is just an enhanced video of reality here with these pink flowers. It's very, very good. I see a little mistakes here where the dark green leaves are cutting through the pink flowers. But man, this, to not have that happen, they would have to be detecting collisions of every leaf against every flower petal, and that would just require an insane amount of processing power. This is pretty darn good. If we look at this under different lighting conditions, pretty good. Back to our dramatic light. So anybody who knocks these graphics, I think they have standards that might be a little too high. That's pretty darn good. Let's bounce our ball somewhere else here. What's this palm tree look like? We'll go with that ball position. Yeah, that's awfully realistic, and even the trunk and the detail on that thing are pretty crazy. Pretty cool. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go take a look at the we hit our drive behind this tree over here. Again, the grass here. Obviously, this is 3D grass. The grass on the fairway in E6 Connect is not 3D, but that is coming. And the cool thing about TruGolf, when they make improvements to E6 Connect, they go back and update every single course in their catalog. So it shouldn't be long. I certainly don't know a date, and I can't promise anything, and I doubt if they would either. But I have heard that 3D grass is coming, and that's just going to enhance the realism of the fairway grass itself. If we go up to the fairway itself and drop a ball, let's go with that. We're in the middle of the fairway. You know, there's nothing wrong with this fairway rendering, but when it becomes 3D turf, it's going to look even more realistic. Let's go up and look at the green a little bit. Drop a ball up near the green. Now, I will say one significant edge that TGC has is the realism of the bunkers. The bunkers look great in E6 Connect, but when a ball rolls through them, it doesn't leave a little ball trail through them like TGC 19 does, which is pretty cool. So hopefully that's on their roadmap too. I don't know if it is or not. But just panning around here on the bunker, the sand looks very, very good. Pan back around to the green. As you can see, we do have a grid. One other shortcoming of E6 Connect, you only see this grid when you're around the green, chipping and putting. There's no way to see the grid on a longer approach shot from the fairway, unfortunately. So if I were to go back and move my ball back, 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 let's find some fairway, 46, 52, back. And this is one of the coolest features of E6 Connect. You can go into this practice mode and sit here with a bucket of balls and play any shot you want to. So let's go with that. As you can see, I'm 99 yards from the green now. If I don't know what the slopes on the green are, I can't just do a quick Q key like you can in 2019, in TGC 19, and zoom into that green. So basically, the only thing I can do is do a drone flyby. Unfortunately, it's going to show me the entire hole, not from just the ball to the tee. And this is your only chance, basically, from a distance to get an idea of the slope of the green. So you better look quick and have a good eye. So it can be tough. I hope they add a grid and a quick flyover from ball position to green. I've certainly recommended that to my TruGolf people. And the good thing is they are very responsive and open to suggestions. And like I said, there's not going to be an E6 Connect 2022. E6 Connect is their flagship golf sim software for the future. They're fully committed to it. And so they're making incremental improvements all the time to the courses, to the physics engine, to the gameplay, making it better and better. And I like that model. Some people don't like the subscription model, but this is how they can get a predictable, regular revenue stream and be able to support a game long term. They don't have big chunks of revenue coming in every 2 or 3 years when they release a new game, and you're not going to have to be paying a big chunk of money every 2 or 3 years to get the latest and greatest. You'll always have the latest and greatest with either the $300 or $600 a year plan. So anyway, I hope this gives you a better idea of E6 Connect graphics and quality. I'm pretty darn impressed with it, and the ball physics to me are very, very good. In some ways better than TGC 19. Certainly there's no big first bounce problem. I haven't tested the low launched fairway wood when you're standing on an upslope problem that you see in 2019 TGC. I will be testing that, but Anyway, I'm pretty impressed with it. I think you will be too. Let me know if you have any questions. My website's gunghogolf.com, and we've got a E6 Connect group on Facebook. Just search E6 Connect users group, and you'll find us. A lot of helpful people on there. Thanks a lot.